Hi there. So as an EDO, how do you stay ahead of the marketing curve and to make your community stand out? Well, you need to know what that curve is, and that's what this presentation is about. So we found the best ways to do this is to ask EDOs. We surveyed them in 2007 and in 2009 at the height of the slump, and then in 2011 when EDOs were beginning to ramp up. Okay, so EDOs were asked how they view their marketing programs as a whole, and we found they were more satisfied with themselves than in years past. In 2011, they were more likely to rate their programs as effective, so they seem to be happier with their own results. All right, better pace. This chart shows the change in perceived value of marketing strategy over time. You see, in just about everything dipped in 2009 when everyone had to make cuts. But in 2011, the perceptions rebounded above their original levels. So the website is highlighted because it's #1, but also online advertising because it was the only one to keep rising. That rise is not surprising. After the dot-com boom days, there was roughly $8 billion in online ad spending. The bubble burst, spending dipped. After that, there was a tremendous rise. We're now at 3 times the level of the spending during the dot-com boom. Spending money on marketing does help. The median annual spending on marketing was $50,000, but there was significant variation by EDO type. Those that rated themselves effective spent 50% more than the median in terms of actual dollars, and they spent higher percentages of their total budget on marketing. But when EDOs do spend money, it's often with little regard to what's effective. While the highest budgeted strategy was the website, it also received high ratings. Print advertising and brochures, ranked effective by less than a quarter, were in the top 5 budgeted strategies. So we compared the area serviced by the EDO to the scope of the marketing. Respondents tended to represent organizations at the city or the county level, but the scope of the marketing was most often told to be global and then national. So in addition to asking EDOs what industries they target, we also asked site selectors what industries they service most. We split manufacturing into 3 choices, and those just happen to wind up the top 3 choices for EDOs. As for site selectors, traditional manufacturing also made the top 3, but the newer subsectors were not a priority. And when talking about manufacturing, it's impossible to ignore where the direction it's heading. Employment dropped 20% from 2004 to 2010. Site selectors spoke to a resurgence in the newer sectors, but they acknowledged they create few jobs per dollar invested. So we also asked site selectors how they contact EDOs. In the first few stages of site selection, they're more likely to visit an EDO website, seen in green here, than to make personal contact, which is seen in blue. This means that if communities don't provide information online, they may be eliminated from consideration early on. Here we have a chart comparing the responses over time. It shows a discouraging trend. You see the dashed line is 2007, and the solid blue is current. You can see that site selectors are less likely to contact EDOs at all. So back in 2007, about 1/3 of EDOs had interactive features for maps, site selection analysis assistance, and demographic reports. At the time, it looked like there would be a tipping point in about 2 to 5 years, as our data showed that the majority of EDOs planned to have interactive features by that time. And it looks like we're on track to make good on that prediction. Almost half of EDOs now have interactive maps and site selection analysis on their website, which is over a 10% increase from 2007. We're approaching that 50% tipping point when organizations that don't have these interactive features will need them just to play catch up. So here's an interactive tool. This is from the state of Minnesota. You see a map of businesses around an available site. And a business needs to find a location that works, whether that be a property or a community. Here we see a heat map overlay of where young people live. And this is useful for a community where a business is thinking about locating. Shifting to website maintenance, EDOs are much more likely to include analytics on their website for visitor tracking. Back in 2007, 29% of EDOs said they do not track visitors to their website. Now the figure's down to 2%. This is a good sign because knowing your visitors helps you serve them. But many EDOs still struggle to update their websites. Not much improvement in the last 4 years. 9% only update their websites annually. Hopefully your EDO has enough activity to justify more updates than that. EDOs also need to benchmark their performance. We found that jobs are still the most often criteria used to benchmark an organization's success. While the tough economy has made that benchmark a challenging one, it does benefit from being something that's fairly measurable. But there's not as much consensus among EDOs as how to benchmark their marketing. The top-rated benchmarking strategy for marketing was none at all. So an essential part of improving performance is measuring it, and 1 in 5 EDOs are missing this key step of successful marketing. So if you want to learn more, I encourage you to come by our table and pick up a free copy of our book. It contains the full results of this case study as well as study, as well as case studies from many innovative marketers in the field. And thanks a lot. Appreciate it.